Sawadee-Kap. April the 24th. A rudderless ship. The rudder's that thing in the back of the ship that steers it, right? You turn the handle and it makes the ship turn. Most of you know that, but whatever, just in case. So a rudderless ship and a purposeless person are eventually stranded on desert sand. I see what he did there. The goals you set for yourself, like the rudder of a ship, will guide you towards your destination. And without them, like a ship without a rudder, he likes that analogy obviously, you'll find it impossible to stay the course. Make goal setting a habit in your life. If you sometimes have trouble staying focused, set small, attainable goals and stick with the job until it's done. Examples might include finding a faster, more efficient way to do a routine job. There you go. Or taking the most difficult jobs first when you have the most energy and your concentration is at its highest level. Highly recommend that one. That's a time management technique more than anything else, but it's effective and it works, and it's good. I've used it. It works. Save the easiest jobs for last. Yeah, that's a few small successes will inevitably lead to bigger achievements. Yeah, you get confidence, as I've mentioned before, you get confidence from success, from achievements. So meeting a milestone, and that's why you set small, achievable milestones or small goals, because once you finish milestone 1, that sets you up for success for milestone 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. It could be 500. It depends upon how big your goal is and how detailed your milestones are. Like I said the other day, like moving to Chiang Mai was a milestone. Like, how hard is that? You pack your shit up in a truck and you move. But just, and there was more involved in it than that and all that. Of course, yeah, I oversimplified it there, but in of itself, moving to a different city was a very small achievement, not a monumental task, not climbing 1,000 steps, up a ladder or something like that. I moved. Plenty of people move. I've moved before. I'll move again. But it was important because it was necessary to get to the next step for me, which was to start that business. So my buddy Lee passed away. I talked about that yesterday. And that precluded me from talking about the auction. So, hurdles. I don't know why, but it always seems like there's hurdles. And, and I'm not, what's the word I'm looking for, egotistical enough to believe that it's just me. I'm not going to sit here and say, woe is me, poor me, oh, why does this always happen to me? No, it happens to everybody. I get that. When I'm inconvenienced, other people are inconvenienced too. It's not just me. The world does not revolve around me. So I went down to the auction the other day, saying I had in the morning I had done the positive action plan. I said I'm going to buy 2 bikes, because there's 20. There's 20 bikes easily, 24 bikes that were less than 25,000 baht that I felt I could sell for 30 or more. So I was wishing I had sold the condo here already or closed on the house in Jacksonville so that I was loaded for bear and was bringing a shitload of cash. If I had access to 500,000 or 600,000 baht right now without wiping myself out, I would have just taken that to that auction and bought 10 friggin' bikes. Number one, I don't want to spend that money. I'm waiting for reinforcements. A wise general never attacks out of weakness, they attack out of strength. So I'm waiting for the reinforcements. It's coming, probably another week. And I'll have 50,000 US coming in. That's, Christ, how many baht is that? 1.5 million baht, is that right? Something like that, almost 2 million baht. 2 million baht would be 60 grand, so close to 2 million baht is coming in, and once again, I'll be dangerous with that money, Johnny Dangerous, because, the auction, it's a good, easy way to make money, but it just became a little bit harder, right? Here's the hurdle. I drove down there half an hour to the auction and hanged on that I got the truck out, I got the 2 bikes at. I went to the preview the other day, as I mentioned. There's a bunch of good bikes there that I could easily see myself getting 10 if the price was right. The auction is a fluid thing where you never know until it's happening. It's dynamic, right? So for some reason, some bikes go for one bid or one or two bids over. For some reason, some bikes go for 10 bids, 12 bids, 14 bids. You know, you never know with the online bidders and everything what's going to happen. So you have 24 bikes or 30 bikes you're looking at, and you took notes and took pictures, and you're ready to go. You do your research, you do your due diligence, you know where your buy number is, and some of them are going to fall to you. You know, at least two for sure. I was planning on buying. I went to put 2 deposits down, and the lady behind the counter says, "It's no auction today." I'm like, "What do you mean there's no auction today?" There's a big sign, a poster up at the front, and it says today, you know, the 22nd, April 22nd, auction, 12 o'clock. There's 118 bikes, on preview. What do you mean there's no auction? It's online only from now on. What? Like, what? That makes absolutely no sense. The only thing I can think is COVID. Is that as a preventative, because I remember I mentioned there's a outbreak. It's a very popular media word. That when you hear outbreak, does it strike fear into your heart? Do you want to stay home in your little condo or house and not go anywhere because there's an outbreak outside? That's what it's designed to do, and that's what it's doing. So, yeah, we had the 3rd outbreak of COVID. It's been trotted out again, COVID. And you know how you weren't afraid of COVID anymore after the first 2 outbreaks, and it's died down, and we haven't had any cases in 90 days? Well, there's more cases. There's 200 cases. Be afraid. Be very afraid. Be afraid. They're manipulating you. They're controlling you, and whatever. You're falling for it. It's okay. You're scared. You're weak. I understand. I get it. Those of us who aren't scared or aren't weak are fucking pissed off. I'll tell you that. The government's going to keep playing, and I'm not talking about this government here in this country I live in. I'm talking about the world governments that are taking advantage of this thing. They're going to keep pushing and playing with their new toy, and there's going to be some backlash. There's going to be Judgment Day. They are going to have to pay for their sins like everybody pays for their sins, including me. I'm not going to be the guy to do it. I don't own a gun. Foreigners are not allowed to own guns here legally. I'm not breaking the law. I don't have a gun. I love it here. I want to live here the rest of my life, so I don't break the laws. I don't have a gun. So I'm not killing anybody anymore for any reason, right? I'm good. Unless somebody attacks me, I will defend myself, and in defending myself, most likely that person will die, because it's very difficult to use just the right amount of force, right? So when I was dating the Russian girl, she had a 10-year-old son, and like most 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds, remember I dated her for 5 years, so he was 10 to 15 while I dated her, and of course he lived with us. He was living with his mom. His dad had passed away at one point, but even before he passed away, he was a hot mess and didn't want the responsibility of raising a kid. And the kid would have weighed 300 pounds if he lived with his dad, because his dad weighed 400 pounds. His idea of a good time was to get a pizza and a carrot cake, an entire cake, why carrot, I don't know, from Publix, and eat it in one sitting. He was 400 something pounds. He died of a heart attack. Imagine that. Shock of all shocks. Anyway, the kid, teenager, 10 to 15, he was feeling his oats. He was like, oh yeah, I'm big, bad, strong, tough guy, like a Thai man, right? He was a Thai man. He was a peacock. No reason to be a peacock, but he was a peacock. So naturally, he came up. I'm the alpha male in the house, and he came up against me a couple times. So okay, let's fuck around. Let's play wrestle. Let's see if I can be the alpha male, if you really are the alpha male. So I put him down like a fucking bug. It's not no question. I fucking outweighed him by. And here's the thing: even without being with his dad, he still weighed 210 pounds, which for a 5'4" little dwarf he was pretty solid. He was pretty sturdy, and for a 12-year-old, he was strong. He was thick, but at the point I was 300 fucking pounds. All I did was sit on his ass, crushing him, and I did exactly that, because even as strong as he was, and even as old as I am, I'm still stronger than him, and I outweigh him by 90 pounds. So it wasn't even, the thing was, when I was, wrestling with him or putting him down on the couch, it was very hard to use enough strength, because he was big and thick and strong, to subdue him, put him down without hurting him. It would have been so much easier if I just ended it right away, quick, boom, over. But then he would be dead or in the hospital, and his mother would not want to sleep with me that night, right? So you don't understand. It's actually harder to semi-fight than it is to fight. Because when you're trained to fight, you are trained to end it as quickly as possible, so there's as little to no damage to you as possible. That's the mentality. Get in there, fuck them up, but good. Disable them immediately and kill them soon after, if that's what's called for in the situation. Because that way a dead man can't punch you. Like, a dead man can't shoot you or stab you. A dead man can't, knock you unconscious, but with a lucky shot, right? So you end that fucking altercation as quickly as you can. Your first move, punch, kick, whatever, chokehold, anything, is designed to disable them so they can no longer damage you. And then at that point, does the situation call for ending their life? If it does, end it quickly, get the fuck away from there, get on with your life, get on with your business. So that, wrestling with him, like I said, he was a little fire plug, was more difficult because I didn't want to disable him. I didn't want to hurt him. That was actually more difficult than just if I can put a bullet in his head, or just put him in a chokehold and twist his neck, snap it. It's over in 2-3 seconds. It's much more efficient. Sorry, I don't mean to sound cavalier, but it is what it is. So, somebody, not me. Once again, not me. I'm a good boy. I'm sitting by the pool sipping mango drinks, although I don't have a pool yet, or a hammock, which I never disclose that. But the image in my head, right? Because you've got to get that dream board. You got to get that mental image of what you want. Was me sitting by my pool, with my villa behind me, in a hammock, in like one of those nice soft bamboo. Remember I told you about the bamboo underwear, right? The bamboo hammock, like really super soft, cottony hammock, not these ropes that are cut into you, like a really comfortable hammock. Nice summer day, shade, so it's not so fucking hot. I'm not sitting there sweating, and a big old mango drink next to me. I don't need the umbrella or pink straw or anything like that. I just, just mango. I love fucking mango. And a nice icy mango smoothie on a hot day sitting by the pool. When you do get hot, even in the shade, you hop in the pool, you take some laps, just lounge, whatever, chill out, and come back up onto the hammock. I will get there next year because I signed a 12-month lease here, so I'm going to obviously honor my commitment and stay here. Chiang Mai, this condo, is a great base for me to do what I did at the end of March, which is go down to Bangkok, and on the way down there, stop in a little town, Nakhon Sawan. I didn't really walk around that town or check it out, but just the scenery was definitely a part of that trip. Getting down there, like I said, we made the choice, Jeffrey and I, of driving down there instead of flying down there. It's $60 for a round-trip flight from Chiang Mai to Bangkok. And I will do that again at some point. I've already done it that last year, but I'll do it again when Bangkok or Pattaya or Hua Hin or Koh Samui or one of those is my destination. I'll fly to Bangkok to have more time down at my destination. But the decision this time was to see as much of the country as I could. So we purposely drove down, took our time, saw a bunch of sights. We stopped in and saw the parents of Jeff's wife. So I was kind of seeing like the rural area and everything, sort of like, my ex-girlfriend, how she lived, and just seeing local villages and stuff. It's cool. It's Thailand. It's one of the reasons I came here, because I really like the culture. I'm a fan of Thailand. And then came back up, as I mentioned. We came up the eastern part of the country on purpose. It was much quicker and shorter, half the time, to drive back up the west side, but we drove up the east side to see more of the country, parts that I hadn't seen. So very cool. Very happy with that trip. Looking forward to doing more. And that's what I'll do this year. That's what 2021 is all about, building up the money and getting back to the auction. Okay, so it's a hurdle. My problem with today's male species, and let me say again, anytime you say such and such is true about a group of people, you're wrong. I'm wrong. Because there are people in that group that aren't like that. But the vast majority of today's male, if they hit an obstacle, I think their tendency is to quit. They just give up. They say, oh, well, I can't buy cars and trucks anymore because they moved the auctions to online. What? Like, just register online. And yes, I did. At 12 o'clock, I was back up here with my laptop, getting a username and password and, going through all the crap. Now, I got a new phone, as I mentioned, on the trip to Bangkok. I was tired of charging my phone 3 times a day. The battery kept going out very quickly, blah, blah, blah. So I said, fuck it, I'm just going to get a new phone. And you probably noticed the quality of the videos a little bit better between the Note 20 and the Note 9, which is my old phone that was cracked and battery kept going out and all that shit. When I did that, I lost all my logins and stuff that were like automated on the phone. So one of the steps in the auction was putting down a deposit. And I had brought cash. I had 60,000 baht, something like that, with me in cash to buy 2 bikes. I had more in the bank if I went over 30,000, although I doubted I was going to go over 30,000, but whatever. I was prepared for the deposit and in cash. And now I had to transfer money electronically. Well, since I got the new phone, my online banking for Bank of Sukcock isn't working. I got to go to the bank. I went to the bank, and she's like, oh, you changed your phone number. I'll submit some paper. It will take 3 days. That's why they're Bank of Sukcock. They're really bad at everything. They really are. Don't bank here. Every forum I read said, Bank of Bangkok, it's the best, or Bangkok Bank, whatever the fuck it is. That's the best, it's the best. They're the worst. They are the fucking worst. I'm very happy so far with Yellow Bank. Krung Sri. They go by colors. Like just Yellow Bank. When you get here, you'll know what I'm talking about. All the ATMs are yellow. All the bank windows, whatever, are yellow. That's their color. All the girls inside wear yellow. It's the Yellow Bank. And granted, I have had limited transactions with them so far, but so far I'm much happier with Krung Sri than Bank of Bangkok. If nothing else, if you're taking money from your home country through an ATM, which is what I've been doing for a year now, they let you take out 30,000 baht, as I mentioned, with 1,000 US basically, with the same fee Bank of Sukcock charges for 25,000 baht. So you might as well get an extra 5,000 baht if you're pulling money out for the same amount of money, 220 baht, your $8 fee, to play, for the privilege of withdrawing money. You might as well get 30,000 instead of 25. That's Krung Sri. Yellow Bank lets you do that. So if for that reason only, don't use Bank of Bangkok. I highly recommend it. So I attempted to do everything. I got to the point where I was going to put the deposit in, 10,000 baht, 2 bikes, right, 5,000 apiece. And the Bank of Bangkok thing failed because my stupid phone changed. My phone number changed because I switched providers when I got to the condo. Blah, 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 blah. So, thwarted. And it was a good auction, man. I'm pissed because it was, like I said, 20 plus bikes that met my needs and fit my criteria. So, I am not happy. I went home empty. So, what am I going to do today? Walk my fat ass over to the mall. The bank is there. Bank of Sukcock's there. Yellow Bank's there. They're all there. And straighten it out and get everything back online with the new phone. I'm just going to hand it to the platform lady and say, fix, make better here. Make my online app work again with my new number, because everything, I got a message that everything's done in the back office. It took like a week. They really do suck, but I still got money in there, so what the fuck, I'm going to get the app for shit like this, for exactly reasons like this. So, that's it for today. Napoleon has spoken. And once again, that really shouldn't be new information for you guys. He talked about small goals, but once again, he's reinforcing it, right? Make a small goal, achieve it, you'll feel better. That will help you. That will increase the likelihood that you'll achieve the next small goal. Because success breeds success. It's human nature. I'm all about what he said. It's all good.